away. Off.
Okay, now that we got your attention, I've been showing a lot of the modifications on my Facebook page, Fans of William Jackson Custom RC Planes. For those who haven't been watching, we've changed this HSD F86 to a fully ducted fan unit, and it doesn't come like that. The intake system from the nose all the way to the fan unit is in there now. So let's take a look and see what we've done. Now, the canopy is no longer remotely operated because there's no room because of the duct and the control unit. So we had to take that out, but it still will open for the static display. I have 4 magnets that are holding it, so it won't blow off. Plus there's a carbon fiber rod underneath that if this should ever open up, it will never blow off because that carbon fiber rod is holding it from coming up. So I can at least open it up for static display and close it when I'm ready to fly. So it's going to be that kind of thing. Okay. Let's get this open, show you what we've done. The 2 receiver batteries are under the canopy now. We've got wires for our lights, for the formation light and the HUD light. The 2 wires for the 2 batteries will be there. Okay, let's get this out the way so we can show things off a little bit. Protect the wing here. Now, inside, let's show you the duct so everybody will see what we're talking about. There's the duct that I made out of the casting material that you use for breaking your arm, but it's the lightweight version, not the heavy stuff. So the multifunction control board is here like it's supposed to be. I got it mounted. These are the wires for the right wing. These are the wires that go to the tail section, and same over here is the wiring for the left wing. Underneath the duct is another set of wires like this, but that is for the nose gear light, all that stuff. And of course these are all the receiver wires. And deep down in there, you can see that is a gyro mounted on the bottom of the plane. So that's what we did on the intake duct, which caused a lot of issues that had to be worked out, because as you can see in there's this hump. Had to make room for this tire to go up. It doesn't turn 90 degrees, it goes straight up. So this and the cam on the top of the retract had to be made room for. So I had to go in there and make those changes to get that to work. Because once you rip all the stuff out that was here before, where do you put it? So that's basically what I've been doing. Where do the batteries go? The old batteries used to sit right here, 2 batteries side by side, 6 cells. And the 2 receiver batteries sat way back here, about here, under this thing here. And they were on the bottom of the fuse. Now, the new batteries will sit right in here, where I carved out some area in the foam. And at the bottom of this, if you watch my Facebook page, you would have seen that I made a battery tray with Velcro on the bottom. So when the batteries go in here, they catch the Velcro and they don't slide back and forth. How many batteries? This is a 4-cell 7700 70C battery. Takes 3 of them. One here, one will be up here, and one goes in on this side. So those will be the 3 batteries. I got them from Bob Violet Models, Thunder Power Packs. Of course, you can't get Thunder Power packs from anybody else except, Bob Violet. So that's what we're going with here. His packs, they gave me the dimensions of the batteries off their website, which I made this cardboard box to represent the batteries so I know if I'll be able to get them in when the batteries come tomorrow. Alrighty, so this has been a long complication of trying to do this, but it had to be done for my liking to make the fan more efficient. Here's something, let me show you, that we worked on on these drop tanks, because the pylons I made, this is a Legend Hobby bomb release mechanism. So I made a pylon in front and back to accept this tank, and to make it look right, it had to be embedded into the tank. Okay? If not, it would have been sitting way out here hanging down and very close to the ground. So making this tank, the pylons go in, cleared that problem. But you see I put these springs, oops, yeah, there we go. We got springs that I built or purchased, put caps on top. And these springs will guarantee to eject this tank clear the pylon and then get caught into the slipstream. And that was just for me. It may be over-engineered, but for me right now, I can't take a chance of having those tanks get hung up in the air. So that's basically what I did there on the HSD full duct intake system. Okay, for those guys who wanted to know, this thing is built in 3 pieces: a forward section, a middle section, and a section that mates up with the fan unit. You cannot get a full duct inside of this in one piece. If I were to do another one, F86 from HSD, I would cut this nose off before I paint the airplane and make this nose removable. That way you could put a one-piece intake in, slide it all the way through, put carbon fiber rods on this, and then just put the nose back on it and be done with it. If I had to do it again, that's what I would do. I would be going that route. It would just make it easier when you wanted to remove it or work on it. It's still easy to do. The only thing is I have to take the fan unit and disconnect it and take it out of the plane. Then take the duct, slide it back 2 inches so I can remove the front section, then the middle section, and then the tail section. That's my engineering. We'll see if it works. We're coming up on about another week before we test fly this. So I'm basically doing all of the shakedown right now, making sure all the systems work, because I got to go 100 miles to test fly this. So, but that's what's got to be done. So the facility I'm going to use is 100 miles away. So that's what we did with that. Oh, here's my other thing I forgot to tell you. Let me get my little pointer out. When I built this plane, I made these gun ports to look as real as possible, but also I made them open. As you can see, when I stick my probe in here, this is where the air is going to be coming in to cool the batteries. See that? Air is going to be going right into the batteries on both sides. You can see we got air coming in through all the gun ports. Air is coming in, and that will keep these batteries cool. Okay, we took that in consideration. Where's all that air going to go? All the air is actually going to be coming out of here. That's open. All of these ports on the side for the real plane, they're open. All of these up here are open. and the one that's on this side is open. So all that air coming down through here has somewhere to get out. So it won't be, you know, just building up there and putting pressure on my canopy. So that's what we got going on. And that's the update on the plane. What we got here, like I said, the cooling that I did on the A10 was to, I don't know if I can do this one-handed. Come on. All right. On the A10, this cover is removable. That's for static display, but when I fly, you can see air is coming directly in here and cooling the batteries. And then when I want to do a static display, I just pop this back on. Like that. That's basically there for that. That's how we do that. Now, this plane had a crash on a landing, and I messed up this nose from here forward. Door, gear, everything. Everything had to be rebuilt. Great thing about foam and foam filler, you can rebuild anything. Put it back together, paint it, put the door back on, all that good stuff. Boom, bada bing, ready to go. So let's talk about cooling over here. The same thing about cooling goes on these FMS. The gun ports are open, the air comes in, cools the battery. Where's the air going to come out? The air comes out the top exhaust port. That's how that gets done. This has just got a little bit of weathering on it. And on the F4 Phantom, how did we cool the batteries on it? Right there. What I did was, I'll show you, was I cut this off. Let me put it down. Okay. So what I did was I cut this off right along this seam and hollowed it out and then glued it back on. And that makes a channel for air coming in. And another channel right there with a ramp leading up to the battery. So that's how we cool the battery on my F4 Phantom. Flies really cool. Batteries come down nice and cool. I did not do anything. Oh yes, I did. To cool the batteries on this one, I did make a big Naka vent on the bottom. Not scale,